BMW just presented the new i3, so let's take a closer look at this. So first of all, the design is not a big surprise because we already know the design of the iX3. We've seen the prototypes before, so everybody knew that this car would look like this. It's a completely new design. You can like it or not, but I think the design is something you can get used to in this case. So it's not as controversial as the 7 Series, for example. There are a couple of interesting things we can see in this shot. So for example, because the kidneys are now pretty much gone and only animated, we have large black surfaces here which can be used as sensor array. So you can package all your front sensors in here. And for example, we can see the camera here, but you can also put radar and anything else behind this black surface, which is quite nice because then they stay away from the lower air inlet, which is then reducing the efficiency of your cooling, which then means that you need bigger cooling inlets. So in that case, it looks pretty efficient here, so that's pretty nice. All the sensors probably up here, apart from the parking sensors. Interesting are also the split lines, so we can see a soft nose arrangement, so which is better for the crash rating. So this part up here is plastic and soft. Some interesting split lines here. So if we look at the car from the side, we have to say that the front pretty much could also be an Opel and the rear could also be a Peugeot, but that's the new design of the BMW. I think it's not bad, but it's the first generation of this new design and we need to get used to it first. We can see some electric door handles, which many people will criticize again, and we can see pretty simple doors. We will also be able to see this a bit better in another shot. Interesting here and a bit, something that would annoy me if I would have this car is this section here. So they couldn't really fit the side window into the door to roll it down. That's why they had to make the separation, and that's why you end up with this strangely shaped third window. And the window line is extended with this plastic part here, which then means that inside the car it doesn't look that nice. So inside that pretty much looks like a cave around the door here, and not really like a limousine. You can also see that the space for the head of the passengers at the rear is only possible because BMW is using a glass window and probably in all versions of this car. If we go back to the side, we can see that the roofline is actually not that round, it's quite edgy, as we know it from the BMW 7 Series. So we have an angle here, it's a pretty straight top, and then another angle at the back. And the interesting thing here is that this car has a 108 kilowatt hour battery between the axles, and the height of the car is only 1.48 meters. If you compare that, the VW Phaeton is 145, so it's just 3 centimeters higher. And that's quite interesting. So you have such a big battery in the floor, but the car is still relatively low. One way how BMW achieved this is what we just said. So the roof is pretty much flat on the top. If it would be a fully curved roof, then the overall height of the car would be higher. On the other hand, that's also a good way to keep the frontal area low. One thing that surprises me in this angle here is the angle of the trunk, because usually BMW trunks used to be quite straight because they had different lift requirements at the back, so they always wanted to have less lift than others. Audi traditionally had a pretty angled trunk, but BMW had a pretty straight one. Now we also have a pretty angled here. Interesting are also the big rims. So the rims have a pretty nice design, but actually they cover quite a lot of the wheel and don't have a big outlet area, which is a good combination of design and function. If we look at the car from this side, we can see these fridge doors, as we used to call them. So pretty simple doors with no structure inside. Only there's like a little structure on the top and then this short line here, but the rest of the door is pretty flat, and that is a door which is very simple to produce for the manufacturer. It's also simple to repair. Another thing that immediately catches my eye is this area here. So we have this split line which is really interfering with the design, and it even changes the shape of the flap here. So yeah, not ideal. But so enough about the body, let's talk about the drivetrain. And we pretty much know the drivetrain already, at least of this version. So this is the i350X drive, which is the same drivetrain as in the iX3. And you can check my video about the iX3 in the link below. So we have 345 kilowatt, we have one electric motor at the front and one at the rear. We have a charging peak of 400 kilowatt, which is really good news, 800 volt technology, and BMW claims that you can recharge enough energy for 400 kilometers of range in just 10 minutes. And that is really amazing. The way how BMW presents this car is a little bit weird because they already showed the car to the journalists in December, but then they gave them the 18th of March, 11 o'clock as the release date for their videos, and they didn't really give them any information before that. So everyone did their review and people don't really know much about the car yet. So we don't know about the prices, we don't even know about the range and the consumption because these are all not confirmed values yet. But we already know a lot about the iX3 and that's why we can talk about this car. In terms of price, it's going to be interesting because the previous i4 was starting at 57,000 euro. The iX3 starts around 70,000 euro, or at least in that version. So this i3 50X drive will sit somewhere in between. So we could guess something around 65K, which is quite a lot for a BMW 3 Series. But if you look at the spreadsheet, if you look at the performance, it's actually not a bad price. Very interesting is going to be the M3, which is supposed to have 4 electric motors. So 1 electric motor per wheel and 1000 kilowatt overall performance. So that's going to be great and something to look forward to. We also don't really know the size of the trunk of the BMW i3, but we can say that it has a frunk. So that's already good news. It's a German limousine electric car with a trunk at front and rear. And if we compare it to the Mercedes, we can say that the BMW has a 108 kilowatt hour battery, and Mercedes in the CLA, even in the biggest version, cannot match the performance of the BMW 3 Series, and they only have an 85 kilowatt hour battery. So they still have a very efficient car, but the range cannot match the BMW. Other things that we already know from the iX3 is that, for example, if you go to a 400 volt charging point, it's possible that the battery is overheating and then this 400 volt will be turned down pretty quickly because for some reason BMW doesn't use all their cooling capacity on this car to cool the battery while charging. That might be a software thing, it might be an early version, and it might be possible to fix that with software. But that is something we could now see with the iX3. So although on paper it can do the 400 kilowatt charging, in reality, if the battery is already warm when you go to the charging station and you want to use the 400 kilowatt, it's very likely that the battery will be overheating during the 400 kilowatt charging and it will turn down the charging performance. So all in all, we can say that it's quite nice to see what the BMW i3 has become, and it's another good sign from German car industry. So we have a high-performance electric car, we have a huge battery packaged into a small limousine, and the car is not really that high. You cannot really see that it's carrying such a big battery. Interesting is going to be the weight, which is, if we look at the iX3, maybe sitting somewhere around 2.3 tons, which is a lot for BMW 3 Series. So, how do you like the new BMW i3? Let me know in the comments below and see you at the next video.